Hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Georgiman and I'm your friendly neighborhood anime and manga fan. I love all things anime and all things manga, and I'm here today to talk about My Dress Up Darling chapter 98. So, what did I think about this week's chapter? I thought this week's chapter was great. I thought it did a really good job at, just being lighthearted and fun. And, it was a nice callback to the earlier chapters of the series, now that we're not being too emotional and, all these great character development moments and all that. It was just a very simplistic, very fluffy, to your heart's content, kind of chapter. It was just very, very likable. It was just a nice, wholesome chapter to put it in simplest terms. Now, before I go any further with this week's chapter, I just want to give you guys a quick reminder to make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel so you guys can be up to date with all my Dress Up Darling, as well as all my anime and manga content that I'll be providing in this channel. It really helps out a lot, and I would really, really appreciate if you could subscribe to my YouTube channel. So if you guys could, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Now, with all that out of the way, let's get into this week's chapter. Now, one little disclaimer: if my voice sounds completely messed up, that's because I'm currently very, very sick. So just please, maintain. You guys got to deal with this raspy voice for right now. Hopefully it gets, taken care of sooner than later. So just want to throw that out there. Now let's get into the actual chapter. So this week's chapter starts off where we pick up with the squad. Akane, Suzuka, Akane, and Akira. And it's just, they're just ready to be in the Comet. They just showed up, and they're talking about like, oh, where's Marin at, and they're chit-chatting about, and and throughout it all, the funniest part was, you just see Akira in the back just sobbing her eyes out. She can't wait to see her princess once again, like, her queen. Marin is her queen, and once again she'll be able to see her. And it's just, so wholesome just seeing Akira, best girl, all the time, best, she a queen, she's literally the fandom. She represents the fandom. So, I love her for that, just for that alone. She's just the embodiment of us, the people that we love. Marin, she speaks to us. She's a culture. She's all about the culture, But continuing on, we see that eventually, they're talking to him like, oh, where's Gojo and Marin? And they bump into, this, like, they see a cosplayer, and you're like, whoa, this is pretty busy. And like, it's some random cosplayer, they're all like, whoa, this is a big line. And then it's like, whoa, look over there, it's even bigger. And throughout it all, you see Gojo in the background, and they're like, hey, Gojo, what's up? And, he's like, hey, Akane, Suzuka, what's up, guys? And it's like, oh, is Marin, like, is this line just for Marin? It's like, yeah. It's like, wow, that's insane. It's like, yeah, like, I guess we're not going to be able to go because there's so many people. And then, a Giga Chad, lets Suzuka and Akira and them, cut the line. And they proceed to cut the line. They get a better view of Marin, and they're like, oh my gosh, is that really Marin? And you just see them like fanboying, looking at Marin from a distance, and they're like, wow, that's really cool, like, that's Haniel, all right. And you see like Akira just fangirly. She's like, yeah, my princess, she looks amazing, she looks phenomenal. I can't believe that she got this impossible cosplay and made it possible. Gojo's such a good cosplay, like, person to make cosplays. Like, he's so talented. And then you just see Marin turn at them, and just gets them this like this look, and they all proceed to just like completely simp. They're just like they're going like crazy. They're fangirling everywhere, and you just see them like, oh my god, that's crazy, that's actually Marin, what the heck? And then they're talking, and you proceed to see like other people in the con. They're, because you see Akira saying like, my princess, and then you see these grown men like, with cameras, and all these other photographers as well. They're like in shock, just like looking at Marin, because by the way, when Marin looks at Akira and them, she's just smiling, and she's like, wow, my god, like, and it's so cute. Like, I love that shot. Just once again, Marin breaking character, and that's going to show once again, like, she's really good at keeping character as well as breaking it and going back to it, because in the next panel we see a bunch of like camera guys, and they're like, oh my god, this is really Haniel, like, is she even human? I can't keep my eyes away from her. I gotta like take a picture of her. Like, I just gotta keep staring. I can't stop staring at her. And they're just obsessing over her, and you just see Marin like look at them, and they all like completely turn into stone. They're like, whoa, what the heck? And like, that was great. Like, I really, once again, Marin really captured the character to a T. And we gotta give mad props to the Giga Chad Gojo, because he's the one that made it possible after all. I mean, his hard work and dedication, which is something that Akane and the rest of the crew, that they're like, wow, this guy, he was working even after Christmas. He's been working nonstop, and it shows up. It shows it shows 100%, because you see just the results. You see just all across the board, everybody's praising Gojo's craft, and Gojo, he feels, I like to think that he's finally content. Like, he's finally like, yeah, I did it. I did a great job. And everybody's like blowing like their brains are being blown out, because they're like, whoa, there's a literal angel in this con. And you see like all these photographers are like, like trying to take pictures of Marin, like when she does her pose. And I gotta note that Fukuda once again knocks it out of the park with the art. There was a bunch of like 1-page big splash, like big panels, like just a 1-page like huge drawn like illustration of Haniel, and they all look gorgeous. They all look phenomenal. And Fukuda really, I think it's crazy how if you go back to the first chapters, her art was great and all. But, it's just great to see an artist, improve upon, as time goes on. And Fukuda is the prime example of that. I mean, the artwork in this was phenomenal. Haniel, she just looked stunning. Like, it looked like, literally like an angel. And what we see is that pretty much all these people, they're gathering, they're just losing their mind, they're simping. And we see like all these people like, like messaging other people like, hey, come to the Comet, like come here, because like there's literally an angel walking among men. And you just see like I said, Marin just like big smiling, like, and it says something along the lines like Archangel Haniel descends upon the winter comet, and that's how the chapter ends. You just see this panel of Haniel smiling upon everybody, like have we seen earlier. Just Marin 100% knocks it out of the park with the smile. She gets it right on point and sticks in character. And yeah, that's how the chapter ended. And now we're heading towards the ending of this arc, because if I remember correctly, I think Fukuda said that she's making these chapters longer so she was able to condense the comic arc. And it's getting toward the end, because right now we're reaching chapter 100, and from my understanding, I think that Fukuda said that the next couple chapters were going to be a month breaks, and we're still in that trend, because the next chapter will be in December 15, I believe. So if I go by my logic, which a lot of people have been saying as well as myself, that the logic is the confession happens at chapter 100 or something along those lines, where the feelings get exchanged or something along those lines. I think that this week's chapter, just making it very simplistic, very fun, once again hanging out with the side characters, really did a good job at distracting us when the big shock of the confession might come out of nowhere. Because if I had to guess, I do think that the confession will come like out of nowhere. And I think if I had to theorize right now, I think the way that the confession will come to fruition will be something along the lines like, we know that Haniel has been like hypnotizing like Man, and Gojo himself was hypnotized by Haniel, at least from looking at the illustrations and reading upon her. And when he was making the cosplay, he was literally hypnotized by her. What if he's like, I mean, we already saw that he was hypnotized by Marin, and how great, amazing she looks, but like maybe he starts to recognize like, maybe I love her, like, or something along those lines. Picture the scene where the cultural festival, where Marin dressed as the dude, and she won the tuxedo and all that, and how when she caught the rose, how like everybody was simping like, oh my god, that's amazing. And how like Gojo, even he got a little bit how can I describe this, he got a little bit, I wouldn't say lovey-dovey, but he got like in his feels, or he felt some type of emotion, I guess. And I think that once again with this Haniel, she's showboating to everybody, she's doing a great job, she's looking amazing. I think that this will spark once again the feelings that Gojo has been unaware this entire time, because I think that Marin definitely wants to propose to Gojo. She wants to confess, and Gojo, I think he's like I said, he's learning. I mean, we've been experiencing his entire growth as a character this entire time, so it wouldn't be surprising if, like I said, if Marin just throws it out there and Gojo's like shaking, it's like, oh my god, what did I do? Or by accident, maybe Gojo slips it out of his mouth like, I love Haniel, and Marin's like, what, you love me, like, or something along those lines. Because I think that everything's being pieced together to make it so this arc feels very important. I mean, if it's a parallel to the Chizuku-tan arc, where Gojo did an all-nighter, he was doing great, and eventually the Chizuku-tan cosplay came to be, and everybody was taking pictures of her. But it's the same, if you follow the same structure, it's kind of similar to this. So it'd be very fitting if the arc towards the end, remember when Gojo says like, I only say beautiful to things that I love, or something like that, and then Marin got like all red. What if something like that happens again, where this time Marin says something like that to Gojo in the way, and like Gojo's like, or she slips out the I love you, and Gojo's like, what, like gets all red. It'll be a nice contrast and a nice callback to what happened. But with all that being said, what did you guys think about this week's chapter? Did you guys love it? Did you guys hate it? Did you guys thought it was alright? Whatever you guys thought, let me know in the comment section down below. Also, thank you so much for sticking all the way to the end of the video. I really appreciate it. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more My Dress Up Darling, as well as more anime and manga content in the near future. But yeah, with that being said, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Bye bye.